Love, light, and blessing. Shamanic White Priestess here. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna do a update to what decks am I taking with me? I'm moving because one, I didn't move, and two, it's been 7 to 8 months from when I made that video. I decided not to move because it wasn't the right time. Like I feel like it was impulsive for me to do it. I was trying to do it with the pandemic. My state is really hard at the time to move because of all the precautions they have for moving and things like that. Everything was closed off. Everybody wanted to do virtual tours. Not going to invest in a property that I can't have access to prior to signing anything. I've had nightmare stories from clients that, um, you know, basically, oh, I went to rent a place or I bought a house and the place wasn't what they said it was and things like that. So you have people taking advantage of situations, and I'm not in the mood for that. Also, there's been a freeze, of course, understandably so, with people moving out of places, even people that have fallen behind on their rent. So a lot of landlords are still having the prior tenants there, therefore not able to rent out to new tenants. And I was looking more for a rental property. So that has also significantly. So I just decided to take a break from all of that for some time. Just kind of in the fall of September decided, you know what, it's not the right time. So I'm waiting till like the whole COVID thing is calmed the heck down. I feel like that's going to open up the market, and therefore I have choices because I just don't want to settle somewhere. I want to move when it's divine timing. So, but since then, it has been a great thing that I put most of my decks in storage because it really has forced me to see what I really want to work with and the decks that I want to get rid of, that I don't really want in my collection, that are just cluttering everything up, that maybe somebody else could love more. So I will be doing a huge giveaway before the end of this year. So look out for that during this winter. Decks that I just don't feel drawn to anymore, I will be giving away and things like that to my subscribers. So look out for a big giveaway. I did one a couple of years ago. Yeah. So first and foremost, I wanted to show you guys the 13 working decks that the 6 that I do professional readings with, well, 7, and the 6 that I've been drawn to take out to do readings for myself because it's something that I was talking about in last month's checkup. I have not been inspired to do readings for myself. And I think it's because I left my 6 working decks out, /7 at times. And I don't know, I'm just not inspired to read myself with decks that I use for clients for some reason. And I think that's what it was, that kind of just like wasn't feeling it. So I started to miss certain decks in my collection that I've always used to read myself with. And the other ones that I just don't resonate with, they're still boxed up in storage. But these 6 came out. So I'm going to show you my 7 working decks for the year of 2021 and my 6 personal decks for the year of 2021. So let's start with the professional reading decks, okay? Let's start with the professional ones. Okay, so the current deck that I'm working with now is the one I'm going to start with for professional readings. This is the pouch that came with my Groovy Weight. So like I said, they're no longer doing the box. So it's purple. I know it looks blue on camera, but it's actually purple. Velvet bag. So yeah, I'm reading now. If you do a reading with me, this is the deck that I'm working with for the month of March for professional readings. And it's my Hanson Roberts, which everybody knows I love this deck. I dream of it. That's how I ended up purchasing it. It kept appearing in my dreams and things like that. I love the size of it. It's kind of more like playing card size. I love the penciled in look. I love how the close-ups of the faces in this deck, I find it to be very expressive. I just love it. I love reading clients with it, and I love that I can pull so many cards without it over like, I could take out multiple cards with this without like covering the whole table pretty much. That's the backs, and that's your Hanson Roberts. I keep it in this pouch. It's in my current wooden box that I keep my working decks in, because this is the deck again that I'm going to be working with for the rest of the month of March. Finally put my groovy weight away, because I was not putting it away. I was like in love with it. All my decks have a crystal inside of them, and it's my favorite crystal, which is selenite. So all my decks are in pouches, and there's a selenite crystal. So another deck that I'm going to be working with in the year of 2021 is this Art Nouveau Golden Tarot. This one's a Llewellyn. You can purchase all the decks that I'm going to show you, with the exception of one. They're all mass produced. I love the backs. This I've actually seen on other tarot tubers channels. I freaking love this. For those of you that maybe you want a more traditional Rider-Waite deck, but maybe the art style of Pamela, which I don't know why, but you know, each to their own. Pamela Coleman Smith artwork may not resonate with you. This is a great clone, you know, and it's gorgeous. It has gold in it. The artwork is amazing. The backs, I don't know what about the backs, but I'm obsessed with the backs. So I think it's one of the most beautiful decks I've ever seen. So, and this is your Golden Art Nouveau, and it's available on Amazon. Yeah. So, and it's a Llewellyn deck. So that's my other working deck that I'm going to be working with this year. So any of these 7 decks you might see when you purchase a professional reading with me. I'm also going back to one of my favorite. So I was obsessed for a while with the plaid backs, kind of rotated it out for another deck. And this is the original tarot. Look at the beautiful backs. This is like my favorite Rider-Waite backs. I love the blue. This deck is just pure beautifulness, gorgeousness. I love the coloration of this original tarot, Rider-Waite Smith original tarot. Love it, love it, love it, love it. A lot of people like the Centennial. I do, but when I discovered this one, I love this one more. So I have, this is more of a favorite to me than the Centennial. So I will be using this in my professional readings as well. I completely love Pamela Coleman Smith's artwork. I am obsessed with this deck, so you can't tell me no different, people. Like, I love me some Pamela Coleman Smith. If you've been watching me long enough, I have a collection of various clones of this deck. So this is the version I'm going to be using for my professional readings for the year of 2021. I matched it up with this pouch that literally, yippee, there we go, that matches with the backs of the cards. So pretty. Okay, so next, so deck number 4 is my Miss Cleo. She always makes it out. Okay, I love the backs of this. I love this deck so much. So my decks are in order, so I'm just like dividing the deck so I can show you like different cards and stuff, because I have to have my decks in order when they're not in use. That's just me. I'm not going to change that about myself. I love Miss Cleo's deck. Again, I bought it for like $4. I love it. It's still inexpensive. You can get her deck on Amazon still for like less than $10, if not $10. I love this deck. It speaks to me. It just does. And I always get really amazing readings with it. I have a deep connection with it. This deck always is a medium deck, so I use it a lot for mediumship readings, specialized readings, da 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 da. Like, I love this deck, so it is amazing. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So this deck is amazing, amazing, amazing. amazing. Okay, just amazing. And I love working with it and bringing it out. So, you know, it's just a great, great, great deck. Wonderful deck. Love it, like I said. And we'll be working with it. Like, the deck will be worked with. Another deck that I want to show you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Deck number 5 is the Cyber Imports Tarot of the Nile. I matched the back too. It's cute. This looks blue, but it's actually green. I don't know what the colors on the camera look like that, but whatever. So Tarot of the Nile. Sorry about the glare. Is another deck that I love. If you read with me professionally, you're gonna see this one too come out, and I get amazing readings with this one as well. I didn't think I was going to connect with it when I first got it because of how small the picture is. There's just, to me, a lot of border. There's like this border, that border, and things like that. But I was amazed. No. Connected with this deck right away. I love all the melanated people. Representation matters, so love it. All different skin tones and all of that. So love the deck. It is a great reader, and I will be continuing to read with this one. This you can get on Amazon as well, or on the Cyber Imports website. And deck number 6, which is in this purple bag. It's your groovy. It's your groovy. One of my subscribers made a good point. In the King of Swords that I showed on the walkthrough of this deck, on the prior edition, there's some changes. So there was like blue stars on one of them. So I'm going to be doing in the future a comparison video. Even though the other edition is not available, because now I'm interested to see if there's subtle little differences like that in other cards. So now I'm curious. But I love this deck. Like, what is there not to love here, people? What is there not to love? Like, I love it. I love you. I love you. I love you. It is great. And there's some representation here. Racial diversity in here as well. I love the backs of this. So this is an indie deck. So you can get this from Tarot Collectibles. This is the version that came in the little pouch. This is like a different edition than the original one that I got in a box, and the original cardstock is thicker and apparently different in subtle ways from this version. So I am going to be doing a side by side so that you guys can see the differences, because now I'm curious. And deck number 7 is your Tarot Illuminati. And this also can be purchased on Amazon. It is different from its original. When it comes to this cardstock, it's more glossy. I actually like it. And also, it doesn't have the gilding that the original one has, which is fine for me. I do like gilding, but if it doesn't have it, it doesn't have it. This one also has racial diversity. It's a gorgeous deck. I completely love it. If you get a professional reading with me, you might even get this one as well. So those are my 7 working decks, okay, for professional readings and things of that nature. And I love these decks for reading to the public, for doing professional readings and things of that nature. Now we're going to move into the 6 decks that I was like, I need to have them. They were in storage and they were just calling my name. Hampton Roberts is one of them too, because I had previously put it in storage thinking I wasn't drawn to it anymore, but I am. So, okay, so these 6 decks here. Sorry, this deck is, there we go. I was having a hard time opening the bag. So this is your Vision Quest Tarot. Okay, this is a forever deck for me because I ended up missing it. So I am part Native American, so I love this deck because there's like Native American representation. The artwork is amazing. I don't care about the border so much, to be honest. I love the court cards in here. I get the most amazing readings with this deck. And I just feel like this deck is so personal. Some of the readings I've cried for the messages that come through. And just a beautiful, deep connection with this deck. And I love it. So it's gorgeous, guys. It's beautiful. And this is your Vision Quest Tarot. So I kept thinking about this deck recently and like, am I gonna go through the trouble of going to storage, looking through all these boxes and getting the decks out? Yeah. I need to have it. So I'm gonna do personal readings with it. So I'm excited. And things like that. I think that will actually motivate me to do personal readings for myself once in a while. The next deck too that was drawn to get as well, that throughout all these years has been a favorite, just like the Vision Quest. No matter what new decks I add into my collection, I just have to keep having that one, is the African American Tarot. I love this deck. I love how it infuses African history with American history. So I love that, how it, you know, has in some cards situations from both African deities from various parts of the continent and things of that nature. So I really love this deck. It just feels very personal to me. So I do like to do personal readings with it. It definitely, I like this one better than the Afro-Brazilian one. I've never been able to get over the leaflet, like the little white book that comes with it, because it did have some racist undertones when it comes to Haitian voodoo. And I just, because of that reason, I just can't with that deck. I just can't bypass that. So yeah. So I don't think I'm gonna be keeping the Afro-Brazilian Tarot. I don't know. We'll see. But just not really motivated to use it for the longest of time. So it's been almost a year and I have just not been motivated. The Herbal Tarot. Okay, these two decks. I don't know if the African American Tarot is available anymore on Amazon, but I know I got it from Amazon. Yeah, and the Vision Quest should still be on Amazon, but again, I don't know. Love this deck. It's very, very unique. When I've read myself with it, I have completely loved it. It is great. I love the artwork in it. I love the borders. I don't cut the borders of my decks. Has never been a thing that I like to do, so yeah. If there's noise downstairs, I have a very loud neighbor. He's just a loud person, so hopefully it's not coming out on the video, but if it is, sorry. I can't really control the loud conversations people have outside. But yeah, this is your Herbal Tarot. I love it. Great deck. Beautiful, gorgeous. And definitely will be working with this one in the future. So I am very excited. I ended up liking this one more than the Herb Craft Tarot, or the Herb Crafters Tarot, whatever like that. I thought I was going to have a deeper connection to it than I actually did. So this one I do like. This one I do love. Like, I actually love this one and I connect with this one. And when I was working with it, I did get amazing readings with it and things like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay. So I believe it's 14 decks, not 13. So I believe I have 7 decks. We will see, but I think. Then we have the Orisha Tarot. I do plan to work with this deck in the future as well. I think the best thing about this deck is the Pataki, so the stories that the cards are based on. I find them to be really beautiful. You can learn some things about the Orisha, which I think is amazing. And yeah, anybody who's drawn to this imagery or wants to learn about Orisha lore, the stories and things, some of the stories, because it's not going to teach you everything, of course. It's a great deck to get. I like it. It is actually created by someone who is initiated into a Orisha religious practice. So the person who made the deck is an initiate of one of the Orisha religions. So I think that's very good. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, deck number 5 for personal working decks. So love this deck. I stand by the review that I gave it. I worked a lot with it last year, and I just been like, I want to work with this deck again. And so I will be doing readings with this one. Like I said, this just feels like a familiar family photo type of deck. And this is your Hoodoo Tarot. It should still be available on Amazon. I know that it has gone out of stock sometimes and been sold out. I love the guidebook that comes with it. I know some people had quality issues. My copy was perfect. So I don't know what's going on there, but my version is perfectos. If you've ever been interested in learning about hoodoo or anything like that, or someone who practices hoodoo and wants a deck that speaks more to that, this is your deck. And it is the Hoodoo Tarot. Love, 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 love. Okay, so that's the Hoodoo Tarot. I put it in a purple pouch because purple just feels very ancestral to me. And so that's where I house this one. Okay. Deck number 6. Is your Spellcaster Tarot, which was actually purchased by a great friend of mine. This is also LOL. I love this deck. And so I was really surprised when she gave it to me. I thought it was something I wouldn't work with, but yeah, I love it. It gives me really great readings. It has a great guidebook too. And kind of gives you little ideas on how you can use this deck. It has a lot of diversity. The artwork does speak to me. Okay, so if anyone practice paganism and things like that, like this representation and all that good stuff, and maybe you work like more of a pagan magical practice, you can use this deck for magical uses as well, or for divination. I use it for divination, but yes, I love it, and I will be using it in the future for personal readings. This also feels like a very personal deck to me, so I look forward to working with this deck. I missed it while I was in storage, so yep, the Spellcaster's Tarot. Sheesh. And last but not least, beep, is the deck I'm working with now, which is the Light Seers Tarot. Okay, the Light Seers Tarot. This is what the deck looks like. This is the wonderful backs of it. And yeah, it is beautiful. I am really I actually took this one out and got an amazing reading yesterday. So I was like, ooh. So I think that's what it was. I think I just needed my old favorites. This also feels like a personal deck to me as well. I love the representation, the people, the artwork is gorgeousness. Look at the gorgeous death card. I love the background colors as well on this deck. So And it's amazing because I didn't connect with this deck right away. I got it in a trade with a great friend, ended up rehoming it, and a client bought it for me. So I was like, okay, I get the message, Spirit. I'm supposed to be working with this deck. And not only that, the person I rehomed the deck to ended up giving it back to me. So I have 2 copies of this one. And I'm glad that I decided to give this one a chance because it is a wonderful, wonderful deck. So I love it. It feels very personal to me. Like I just want it for my Cleo. Okay, and that is your the Light Seers Tarot. Okay, so love it, love it, love it. Love the cardstock on it. I love it. It's a great cardstock. So those are the 14 decks that I will be, my goal is to work with them more in 2021. Okay. Because I love them and I want to keep them in my collection, and things of that nature. And the decks that are still in storage, I'm going to revisit them in a year. So in 2022, and see if I'm drawn to them. If I'm not, then, you know, so by the end of this year, so December, beginning of January, I will be doing a giveaway then. Because if I'm not going to use it, I don't want it in my collection. So much love, much light, much blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Until the next video. Bye.